applause, flashbulbs, tears. She stood at the podium in her crisp black robe beaming like she owned the room. And most of all, she said into the mic, voice thick with pride, "I want to thank our parents for giving me the freedom to succeed." The crowd clapped. She turned slightly, eyes grazing over me, unlike my sister, who chose a different path. A beat, a fake smile. Smile, a knife in the gut dressed as gratitude. I didn't flinch, didn't blink, just smiled, raised my glass, and watched her finish her speech like she hadn't just erased me from her story. She had no idea, but she would, because with that sentence, she triggered the one clause she should have read. I paid for everything. 4 years of undergrad, 3 years of law school, books, rent, laptop, bar prep. Every dollar came from me, not from our parents who spent their retirement fund on golf clubs and home renovations. From me. But I didn't mind, not at first. She was 18 when she cried to me about wanting a future. She just found out mom and dad had emptied her college savings for a timeshare. She looked so small, so broken. I told her I'd help, but I wasn't stupid. I drew up a private contract once she signed, barely skimming the fine print. She laughed, called me dramatic, said blood didn't need paperwork. Turns out it does, especially when blood gets greedy. Over the years, she changed from grateful to entitled. Phone calls turned into demands. Thank yous became expectations. She forgot where she started and who got her there. I noticed it in the way she introduced me as just my sister, never mentioning how she got to wear that suit or how she'd complain about people who settle staring right at me across the table. But I said nothing because I knew something she didn't. She never actually read Clause 17. Clause 17. Any public statement by the borrower that defames, discredits, or disrespects the lender before the completion of repayment shall be considered a breach of contract, triggering immediate full repayment plus interest and penalties. Calculated, precise, binding, enforced the moment she spoke those words into that microphone. The next morning, I filed the breach with my attorney, the one I used to build my firm, the one she'd interned for, and had no idea worked for me. I submitted the signed contract, timestamped video, transcription of her speech. By the end of the week, she got the notice. Repayment due in full, 30 days. No extensions, no grace, just consequence. The first call came at midnight. I didn't answer. The second, the next morning. Voicemail, panicked voice, fake tears. It was just a joke. I listened once, then forwarded it to my attorney for record keeping. 3 days later, she emailed, asking for a meeting. I agreed. We met at the cafe where she used to beg for textbook money. She wore a fitted blazer, still clinging to the pride she'd stood on. "You're serious about this?" she asked. I sipped my coffee. Clause 17, I said. Her jaw tightened. I was thanking our. No, I interrupted. You erased me. You humiliated me. You turned your success into a weapon, she blinked. I didn't mean to, but you did. She offered partial repayment, said she'd do it in installments. I reminded her that clause triggers full repayment, penalties included. You'd ruin me, she whispered. I leaned in. You ruined us. I just returned the favor. She didn't have the money. Her fancy job offer revoked after I sent them a link to the Bar Association Code of Conduct with her little speech. Turns out, contracts matter, even to lawyers, especially to ones who never saw the trap they signed years ago. Last I heard, she sold her car, moved back in with our parents. They tried to call me, too, left voicemails about family forgiveness. I sent them a copy of the contract. No response after that. Me? I'm not bitter. I'm clean, clear, free. She wanted to make me small in front of a crowd. Now she knows I don't fight in front of people. I fight on paper, in silence, with signatures and stamps, and I never miss. She stood on stage in a cap and gown. Now she folds clothes at a strip mall legal clinic, all because she thought I was trapped. Turns out she signed the cage herself.